All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. You are in tune to not only an award-winning podcast, but you are in tune to a podcast that is for everyone. And since it's for everyone, here's what I need for you to do. I need for you at this immediate time to like, share, subscribe, hit that notifications bell if you are watching from YouTube. And I also need for you to engage in this podcast episode by leaving a review in the comment section. This podcast, as you already know, celebrates the power of the comeback. I truly believe that you can come back from anything with God, using the right resources effectively, and your willingness to do the necessary work. This is a fantastic Monday. And here, Jazzy Crew, you know that I love some things. And the things that you know that I love is number one, you know that I love a goal digger. That's GOAL. All gold diggers are welcome to this podcast. And you also know that I love Mondays. Mondays represent a new day, a new week, and new goals to crush. And so, without further ado, I thank you so much for tuning in for this exciting episode, because for episode 168, I have a special guest. I've been looking at her podcast. I've been checking her out. And although she's new to the podcast space, her authenticity is unmatched. Her personality is bonkers, and her realness. I really, really, really love how real she is on her podcast. I love the transparency, and I just love that she's a good human. Like, if you really look at her episodes, she is creating traction and she is bringing guests that you can relate to. So who am I talking about? None other than Miss Jennifer Eddings. Now, she has a lot of abbreviations behind her name: BSN, RN, NPD-BC. Now, she is a nurse leader, but not only that, she is a speaker, and she's the creator slash host of the phenomenal podcast, the Call Light Collective podcast. Now, with a background spanning in critical care, besides nursing, ICU leadership, and nursing professional development, Jennifer has built her career on a deep belief in the power of connection, of storytelling, and culture. She's known for blending professionalism with what I said before, authenticity, leading with both her heart and with humor, and creating spaces where people feel seen, valued, and supported. Her leadership and innovative programs have earned her recognition with the Nurse Leader Daisy Award, keynote speaking opportunities, and national recognition for culture shaping initiatives. Now, through her podcast, The Call Light Collective, Jennifer brings unfiltered honesty, heart, and humor to conversations that heal, inspire, and connect. So I want a really loud, live Jazzy Crew welcome for my special guest for episode 168, Miss Jennifer Eddings. How are you, girl?
That was so good. I'm so good. Thank you so very much. I feel like I was just part of like my own personal hype session as well as a tutorial on how to do this right. And now I'm going to go back to the storyboard and figure out how I can do it better. I am so honored, and your introduction was very kind, and I appreciate that. Two of the things that stood out the most. Well, it was so sweet. It was so sweet. Two of the things that stood out the most were that I'm just a good human, and I don't know that I could get a better compliment than that.
Yeah.
And then when you said my personality is bonkers, the best description of what goes on here ever. I love it. I love it so much. So thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. Like I looked at footage, and like I was telling you before we started, Norman Harris is the person that connected us to, and Norman and I have forged a great relationship. He was a special panelist at my 4-year live podcast event, my anniversary show. And so I just said, you know, whenever he brings someone to me, I don't really even need to do the research, because I know that he's bringing genuine people, because he knows that I'm a girly girl, but I love genuine people. Like, those really are the only people that I really like in my space. And so you did not disappoint. You didn't disappoint. I love your your way of interacting and connecting with not only your guests that you have on your podcast, but also with your audience. And so, Jennifer, what led you in this space of podcast land?
You said it best yourself when you brought up Norman Harris's name. So I am the host of the Collie Collective that is absolutely produced by Comfort Measures Media, which is Norman Harris's is his company and
Mhm.
his dream and his vision. He accosted me through LinkedIn, a random inbox, right? Probably almost a year ago, if not greater, and was like, "Hey, I think you're great," and who are you? I don't know. I don't trust you. And then we just kind of forged a little friendship.
Yeah.
He asked me at the beginning of this year if this was something I'd be willing to do, and I was like, "You think you got the wrong one? I'm a little out there, and I don't know how well I do with deadlines, as you could tell today with me logging in a few minutes late."
Okay.
Um, but I just prayed about it, and then to be honest, 2025 has been one of the most humbling years for me,
Mm,
and I have chosen for the past 3 or 4 years to live I say it out loud on social media. I talk about all of my things, the
yeah.
good, the bad, the ugly, and then the really ugly this year,
Yeah.
just because I know what it feels like to feel like I'm all alone. I'm the only one not getting it right. And I know that that's not really true. So if
Mhm.
I can share me, who, typically like a tutu here, some glitter there, if I can admit that life is shit for me at
Yeah.
times, people may feel not quite alone. And that's really the whole goal behind all of it. So
Mhm.
I just prayed about it.
Yeah.
And life got real hard real quick, and I when things are hard, I the best I know how to do is to pour into others, and that makes me feel better. So maybe it was selfish too. I needed to feel better fast, and I was like, that means I have to pour into as many people as I can. And what better way than to um, take him up on his offer to help guide me through this?
I love that.
Here we are. I mean, that's all I can say. Here we are.
Here we are for sure. I just in the small time of being able to um get to know more about you and learn about your story. I'm going to just go right out of the gate with you because a lot of people don't know something about you, something that happened to you recently. So I'm just going to ask you, what does Psalms 91:11 mean to you now?
Mm. I tell you what, recently I was in not to not answer your question, but I was in a HR Christmas party. And one of the questions was, what is the promise that is repeated the most in the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
And that is that I am with you always.
Yeah.
And it said somewhere in there 365 times to hold for all 365 days. And anytime I think of anything Psalms related, I think of stilled waters. I think of He is with you, be not afraid, continue carrying on. Um, and when you said that something happened to me recently, I'm assuming we're talking about yesterday.
Yesterday.
I so to anyone that doesn't know, I almost canceled you today or
Yeah.
canceled this appearance. And
Mm-hmm.
that's because unfortunately, yesterday was a challenging day for me anyway. I thought I lost my phone. So all of a sudden I'm taken back to the Amish days and I have no connection with
You said
anyone. I
promise
might as well have been on a horse. I don't know.
right?
Trying to navigate like Christopher Columbus. I'm on Google writing down directions. I'm like, I don't even know what universe I'm in. And
Right.
I learned a lot of things about myself yesterday. And
Yeah.
that's one, I should pay more attention when driving, for sure. It took me 2 hours to get from Newport Richie to New Tampa.
Oh,
Unacceptable.
wow.
Unacceptable.
Wow.
But so I thought I lost my phone, whatever. Whole day spent looking for it,
Yeah.
figure it out. And on my way back from retrieving my phone, unfortunately, I was involved in a car accident.
Yeah.
I was hit from behind. I cannot tell you how incredibly thankful I feel. Everything happened so fast, but life seemed to slow down in the moment.
Yeah.
And I posted about it earlier today. It was scary, don't get me wrong. I was hit once, but I spun 3 times on the Veterans Expressway. The fact that nobody else hit me in 4 lanes of very intense traffic,
Mm-hmm.
insane. And as I'm spinning, it was almost like I was looking at myself from outside the car, and I let go of the wheel. Now, we don't know each other too well, but I don't let control go very easily
Yeah.
because it hasn't ever really worked out for
Yeah.
me. Um, and in that moment, it was like the epitome of let go and let God. And we can do the whole take the wheel thing. We could refer to several different phrases.
Yeah.
I literally let go. If I, if I didn't know what else to do. And in that moment, I felt such peace and such a stillness to the calm waters, regardless what brought me there and what chaos was around me. He had me, and I
Yeah,
knew that whatever that meant, if that, and I will be, I did truly for a minute think this was it.
that was
Like
it.
my kids and my loved ones, all the faces flashed, right?
Yeah.
I really thought it was it. And for the first time I can say in my entire life, I was okay with that.
Mm,
I knew he had me. I knew he had my family. And letting go and just whatever. So he already had people there to guide my car to the side of the road.
yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But anyway, so it's obviously challenging. I mean, thank God I walked away. I walked away without
Yeah.
any problem. A little sore, whatever. My ego is pretty bruised, but
Yeah.
that's recoverable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Today I woke up and I just felt a little defeated. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good on a podcast today. I
Mhm.
think I'm gonna just wallow in my own stuff. And then I just kept thinking about the email you sent me to kind of give me an idea of what I've seen some of your videos too, and Norman's spoken very highly of you. Um, and I recognize and realize your mission. I identify with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know that there's a better time to do a podcast about the comeback, the
Mhm.
resiliency, except the day after I got,
Whew,
yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's honestly what we do.
We're
That's
here.
how we do it. We
So
get up and we choose to keep going. I
yeah.
can be sad, I can be hurt and bruised, that's fine. Depressed, I can cry, I can eat french fries, I don't care. I'm allowed to be all those things. I just can't
Yeah.
stay there. I can't stay.
Absolutely.
I
You
have
have
to
to
get
choose
up.
it. You have to choose it. You have to choose to go on, just like you said. That's very critical. I'm gonna tell you, Jennifer, like hearing your story, it is such a huge parallel to a guest that I met her kind of the same way that I'm meeting you. Aside from it being Norman, it was another person who introduced me to her, but her name is Lady Alicia, excuse me, and Alicia Martin. Like she's like one of my new favorite people. She got into a life changing, life altering accident. Hers was she got hit, I think, 4 times by semi trucks, and your description to your accident is almost exactly like hers in terms of her car started to spin and she let go of the wheel and she just stated exactly what you stated. She just had peace. She was like she wasn't fearful anymore. She was at complete peace as if she knew that something um magnificent was going to happen on the other side. But to hear your car spinning, to hear that you let go of the wheel, and to hear that both of you had peace in that moment, to me, that is just like a reassuring sign that definitely God is in it, and he had you. And she is literally here, like she is survived by she has like a machine in her body that blocks the pain sensors. Like she was
Bless her.
paralyzed for
Bless.
a long time. They said she would never walk again, but this life altering, operation where she literally has machines in her that holds her up and she's functioning perfectly. Like she's a badass. Like she's in
Amen.
and she's just a powerhouse. And I just that is just amazing. I feel like I've been in an accident, not even similar to that, but it wasn't as severe probably as yours. But I had my kids in the car, and I just
Mm.
remember just thinking, like I cannot believe that this just happened. But it wasn't one of those moments of per se. I felt like God was giving me a second chance. Like, do you feel like this accident was a marker to kind of wake you up with something, or it was deemed that you needed to get closer to Him?
So I love that question. I love the story you told me about your previous guest, and offline if I could get her name just so I can follow her as well and
Absolutely.
support. As you were telling me that her story was similar, I've been in a couple like I've been in a couple little accidents here or there. Sometimes maybe the driver, maybe not. Nothing has ever felt like yesterday felt. Um, and I already knew what I thought I felt, but we all question that, right? And we're like, oh, I'm a little crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's the adrenaline still pumping. But to hear her story and to hear her identify it and to explain it the same way gave
Yes.
me chills all throughout my body as a reaffirmation that I know what I felt
Yeah.
and I know what it was. And the message I posted earlier today, and I've only been in the podcast space, like it's been like a week. I don't know. It hadn't been that long.
Yeah.
But I've been doing just the authentic like storytelling, which is what I call it, on my social medias for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the things that I posted, this wasn't just an accident. This was a message. And
Yeah.
I hear him loud and clear.
Mm.
My job here is not done.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a challenging year.
Yeah.
And there have been moments, even recently, I wonder, like, am I making a difference? Am I really on the right path? Or have I just convinced myself of that? Because I
Girl.
can do that too. I can make myself believe something. And yesterday it felt like a cannonball launch is to like, well, it woke me up, but then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, not only and I do believe my path has been harder because my calling is higher.
Girl.
Not to diminish what anyone else's calling is, but there's no way you and I don't even know you well enough to know that I know we're made out of the same cloth.
Mm-hmm.
We would never be able to connect with people the way that we can if it wasn't for our life experience.
Right. Right.
I would do everything over again if I knew it would help maybe four more people
Mm-hmm.
on their journey to him.
Yeah.
We're all just walking each other home.
Yeah.
And if I can do anything to make somebody else's journey a little less heavy or a little more bright, then that's my honor to do that.
Yeah.
And I had been doubting myself a lot lately. Um, Not to say that an accident was caused for that reason, but I am pulling out of it what I think it was there for. One, I can relate to people on a different level. I feel like I experienced something holy, something that I maybe even doubted existed several years ago.
Yeah.
Out of everything that happened in 2025, and I have a lot of reasons to be very angry about 2025, the thing I pull out the most is just gratitude for my faith getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in my opinion, yesterday was almost just that testament to you're putting in the work in
Yeah.
to believing into something that is absolutely out there and it
Yes.
is powerful. And maybe since now I felt it a little differently, my conviction towards it will be stronger is my only guess.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I got out of my accident too. And honestly, with the trials and tribulations that I go through, because I like sometimes I measure it like, but I'm such a good person, God. Why me? Like I'm like I am like the sweetest person. Like I I have my ways now. Don't get me wrong. I have my ways, but my heart is so pure and it's so big. And I'm just like, sometimes I question, I'm like, why on earth am I going through this? But then I'm like, somebody else has it worse. And they get up every day and they keep going. You're reaching an audience that you can share these moments with or you can relate to. So when they come to you, you can have a shared experience and it makes their experience more vibrant and more relevant, more relatable. And it's just like God went through it. And so you are definitely, you can't even measure to him at all. He did it for purpose. And your life is garnered by purpose as well. And so I get in those moments, and I love that you were so transparent when, because I just read this incredible bio about you. Like someone reading it would be like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you're questioning your worth? You're questioning your purpose. You are that girl. Like you are a leader in nursing. You are a speaker. You've been on these stages and now you've accepted the yes of having a podcast. What do you mean? And people do that to me all the time. And it's just, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome or what it is. I don't know if it's the enemy that's fighting you. I don't know what it is, but I think we all go through those moments of uncertainty and the fact that we are women who are strong, who can pull ourselves up and who can pull ourselves up out of it. And even when we can't, we got God to remind us a little something like, listen, you're on the right path. Continue on this trajectory because there is a purpose on your life and you are going to help others. And I
Amen.
feel like when you are given that gift to help others, and then when you throw God in it, oh, it's going to be tough. It's
Right,
gonna
right, right, right.
it's gonna be tough. So here it is, you
Yeah,
know?
there are some days where I'm so strong in that faith and that conviction that he has me out here doing his work.
Yeah,
You hit the nail on the head. The imposter syndrome is so real and it's
yeah.
there. I absolutely believe imposter syndrome is part of it. When I get in those spaces, I do try to remind myself that the devil doesn't play with people who aren't doing God's work.
Exactly.
He just doesn't.
Exactly.
And the more I feel coming from that field,
Yeah.
I have to tell myself and believe that that means I'm even further on the right path. And he is just trying. So he's like, okay, cool. We're gonna overdraw your bank account this week. Let's see if that fucks her up a little bit. Let's see if that we're gonna make
Oh, that
someone
is
cheat on her. Let's see if that gets her going.
right.
And it
Oh, that
almost
can
makes
work. I'll be right back. Hold
right,
on.
right, right. No problem, no problem.
Hold
I'll
on.
come back. I'll come back. And it's like, I'm 43 and I was like, Jesus, what
Yeah.
else does he have up his sleeve? But dare I not ask? Like, I don't need to know.
Then you
I'm
know,
good over here.
right.
But I do know that whatever he does bring my way, I
Mhm.
have a whole army behind me ready to fight.
Yeah.
Um, there are just moments where it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
And that's more of a Jennifer needing to reground herself and remind myself of my own purpose.
Yeah.
So I
Get it. I
and
get
I definitely have ADHD. I don't have a real diagnosis, but something ain't right. Like, I don't know. So it's like ADHD with a little bit of autism. So I definitely forgot your question
no,
just now.
you're no, you answered it by the way. Just
Good, good. Okay, good, good.
I'm
I
gonna just
normally
ask
do,
Jennifer.
but
Okay, I got you.
okay. You got to
I
reel
got
me in. Tell me to land the plane, Jennifer.
you.
Land the plane. Yeah.
I'm your liaison today. I got it.
Good. Good.
My son is working with a college and career prep professional to get him into college. Which, by the way, I meant to say that at the top of the show. He got into one of his top universities, Florida A&M University.
Okay, girl.
So
Okay.
we just received like thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm so proud of him. Like
Should be.
he's been doing it. Like he's been doing the hard work. I'm like, yeah, you got to put in some work for this too. And so I'm elated for him.
You
So
should be.
um,
Congratulations.
thank you. I really do appreciate that a lot. So she was on the call with him and she was telling him, at this point in life, I feel like we all have a little dibble dabble of a little ADHD and we're on the spectrum a little bit, a little touch. Cause I'm like, yeah. So I understand. I got
Yeah.
you.
I think we all do for sure.
Yeah,
I
I
some
said
of
all
us are just
that.
honest about it, and the
Yeah,
rest,
I
try to
got you.
hide it. But I'm like, nah, it's good.
Right,
I'm good.
right.
It's
we,
obvious, so
we can
it's
all
fine.
function. It's fine.
Yeah.
We started the show, kind of heavy into the point, but tell the audience about Jennifer. Tell us about you, Miss Edding. Like, who are you? Like,
That's the
when you
worst.
look in the mirror, like, who do you see? Like, who do you perceive yourself to be? Who do you know you are?
So when I look in the mirror, what I see is a mother. I
Yeah.
see I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee. Parents, my mom is still with us, my dad is not. And I couldn't tell you anything real specific about my childhood. Nothing was like horribly damaging. All the trauma came a little later in life.
Okay.
Uh, early mother, pregnant at 20, first kid by 21. His dad had a criminal history, and I knew that, and still thought it was a great idea. And so we started dating. The whole prison thing happened. So we're 21-year-old girl putting money on books, raising a kid. It was a whole thing. Um, was able to get out of that. Couple marriages here and there, a couple divorces. Probably take a few episodes to explain all the things.
Yeah.
It's just been a consistent life of surviving, a consistent life of doing what needed to be done for the sake of my children, which I have four,
Right.
22, 19, 15, and 13.
Okay. Yeah.
And I am a nurse leader. I put myself in nursing school. I got my nursing license at
Congratulations.
35.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was a medical assistant for a very long time before that. Making $11 an hour doesn't raise four kids, especially when you're not getting child support. It just
Right.
doesn't go out. So I started in ICU as a nurse. I also have I also used to be 350 pounds, or probably a little bit over that. So
Oh,
there's a weight
okay.
loss in there too. There's
Mhm.
been a lot of things that I've like different journeys that I've done so much self discovery about. I really thought losing the weight, I'd be so happy and I'd be so great. That was my problem. Wasn't even
Oh,
close to my problem.
wow.
Not even close. All
Mhm.
it did was make me have to actually do the real work and
Yeah.
figure out and stop blaming my weight for my depression or whatever.
Now that's
Um,
great. I think
I,
that. if you learned that from that, how incredible is that? Because I think a lot of people use weight as an excuse for things when it's not that. So I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
It's really not. And I did for so long. I'm like, well, I blame my weight on depression, other people, sadness, God at some point, probably the Easter Bunny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyone besides myself is who
Right.
I was blaming.
Yeah.
Um, and I it sounded good. I
Yeah.
made it sound real good. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, and then I was already a nurse in ICU. That's what I've always done, just critical care. And then 2020 hit. My father passed on 2029, February 29th of 2020, and then COVID came in 2 weeks behind.
Mm.
During COVID, I became the nurse leader for medical neuro and COVID ICU in one of our tertiary facilities here in Tampa Bay at a hospital for well over 600 beds.
Wow.
That was the defining moment in my career that I figured out my purpose when it comes to the professional world. And that is to take care of those that are taking care of others. And so, as the nurse manager of the COVID ICU, I just started leading a little bit differently. 70% connection, 30% command. 90% of the time, that 70% carried me through
Yeah.
because my team respected me because I respected them.
Yeah.
That was Sarah and that was Roger. That wasn't nurse and bay
Yeah.
two, or you know what I mean? Whoever has assignment 3024. That wasn't who they were to me.
Yeah.
Um, and it made a difference. And then I was able to start doing what I do now. And I don't even know if I answered your question. I feel like a
It
lot of
did.
my identity is focused professionally and as a mother. Those are the two main areas of my life. Um, I could do better at both.
Yeah.
But I wake up every single day trying to be better, for sure.
So we can't, all of us can. I told a short snippet um about me. And I asked you that question because I was doing some self-reflection as well. Like this past weekend, I went and I celebrated a friend because actually on tomorrow I'm going to be on a guest on a podcast, and she's like, God told me to just reach out to you to talk about sisterhood and to talk about friendship. And I'm like, he did he? I'm like, did he? Are you sure? It's just
Did you
like,
check the caller ID? Like, do we know? Right.
right? Just like that's very interesting because under the layers of it all, that has been something that has been pervasively on my mind, and something that I've like, am I failing at this, or can I do better? Because I know I want a better connection with my friends. And so when she, I haven't really voiced it other than to a few of my friends. So it's just like when she did that, I was like, okay, I got to pay attention to this. But this weekend I chose to we went to Jasper, Georgia, enjoyed the mountains and all of that good stuff. But I just decided to just show up for my friend. Like I took off from work, which I really don't like to do because I have a lot of stuff to do because I'm a leader here at my job too. And I'm also a mother too. Like was getting a high school senior into college, and I have a sixth grader, and it's like they have
Oh,
games
Lord,
school,
sister.
and I'm gonna miss this and da 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 da. And throughout all of that, I just said I'm just gonna be calm because
Mm,
I have mothered, and I don't think we're ever gonna get mothering to that level that we are just like, yep, I did that. I was the mother that of the year. I did everything that I wanted to do as a mother. When I think about a mother, I don't think we can ever get to that point as much as we
I
try.
agree.
I've already accepted that, but I just do my best every day. And then professionally, I'm just like, I show up. Like I show up. Like I will stay to whatever I need to stay to. I will do all the things. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission to just be me. Like
Mhm.
I had some of my friends, like a friend just told, and I was like, so a friend said something to me, and my niece said something to me, and I was just like, I looked at them like, that is not who I see in the mirror, and that's not who I perceive myself to be. Like I went to my alma mater's homecoming, or a classic game that we have, and they were like playing music, and I used to be a DJ in college, and my niece, I overheard her, she was like, my auntie used to play this all the time, but she's gotten boring now. And I'm like, who the hell is she talking to?
Right. She ain't talking about me.
Is she talking about me? I'm getting these tickets to the Jeezy concert right now.
That's right. That's right. Someone's Christmas gift is going back. Like,
Like, wait, who? I was like, I told you how to be cool.
that's
And then I had
right.
another friend that was just like, because she wanted me to visit her out of state. And I'm like, yeah, this would be like a good trip for the boys. She was like, so you can't leave them home? And I was just like, do I always say I want to bring them? Because I feel like in my purview, I'm doing a good job at balancing it. So I have been doing all this reflective work, and I've been trying to just compartmentalize and balance things a little bit better. And so just looking at you, knowing the career that you are in, because you are in a very demanding career, I'm looking at you from the outside in, and I'm like, Jennifer has a little spunk about her. I see the tattoos, I see the crystal blue eyes. I feel like she can just get them just by looking at them. I feel like I'm seeing the hair.
Not the right ones.
Girl.
That's another episode. It's another episode. Go ahead. I apologize.
So I'm projecting.
They love to play
things
with
that
me. That's
people
fine.
give me onto you to see how you deal with this kind of conversation. But so that's why I asked. Like, I know you are the mother. I know you are the professional. But there, I can see something in you. Like, is it someone that you are still aspiring to be that you're not quite yet?
That is such an uncomfortable conversation or a question, but I love it. I don't know that anyone's ever asked that of me before, which actually has just my brain is just spouting off in all directions. You know, I told you earlier I was a mother very young,
Yeah.
and I chose that whatever, and then I had another one, and then another one, and another one. I did not have friends outside of like a work environment. And probably so my first marriage, I wasn't married to my oldest son's dad. The other three have the same dad. I was married to him for 7 years.
Yeah.
My next relationship slash marriage was 7 years as well. So I was probably 30 whatever, it doesn't matter. Like 35, 36, 37 when I divorced my second husband.
Mhm.
And that is when I kind of was like, well, who is Jennifer?
Yeah.
I knew who I was as a mother. I knew who I was as a nurse. I'd been a wife. I was a daughter. I was a sister. But I never had time to explore who Jennifer was because I chose to have children early.
Yeah.
And that time had to be towards figuring out them and making sure they were okay. So there is we can call it free spirit.
Yeah.
We can call it a little crazy. We can call it a little flicker, a little
Yeah.
spunk. We can call it what we want. It's all
Yeah.
really the same. And I did figure out that I was missing some companionship, whether that looked like from a male partner or just friends.
Yeah.
I figured out I do like to be around a lot of people. I do like to go out and listen to music. I do like to dance. I do like to live and not give a damn what
Yeah.
anyone says about me or
Yeah.
thinks about me. Because what I've noticed is the ones that are critiquing or judging, it's just envy. And not that I have anything to be envious other than I don't care
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I still cry when someone doesn't like me and I don't understand it. Like if I don't understand it, it does bother me. I
Yeah.
am such
Yeah.
a sweet person.
Yeah.
But you said something earlier about you were like, God, but I'm a good person. I say this to my head all the time, like, but I'm a good person. And then this was like, but do good people have to say they're good people? Well, no, but I feel like I need to say it because no one else is saying it. Like
Exactly.
I am a good person.
Exactly.
I am healing. I'm
Yeah.
not healed. So you said earlier you got your ways. Same. Like someone comes at me, they're gonna get the same level of energy matched back. And if they're coming from my kids or my family, like my
Yeah.
mouth is unforgiving at
Yeah.
times. And I'm not saying it's good, nor am I saying it's right. Just saying how it is.
Yes.
And I pray about it. I really do.
Yeah.
But also don't come at me. Anyway, I could go on for that for a while.
It's
Like I'm really nice until I'm not.
right.
But
Never.
that's just kind of I think where I'm at now is just the living authentically has helped so much. You were talking about your girlfriends and about your sisterhood.
Yeah.
That's been a very confusing field for me for the last 2 years, I think. Having no friends to having all these people
Yeah.
that say they're my friends, but then figuring out that I do have an energy that's nice to be around and they're probably not really my friends, not the way I take friendship.
Yeah.
being hurt, going through all of those things, and then figuring out that sometimes a lot of people are surface level or transactional. And if I'm not benefiting them specifically, they don't have a whole lot of my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
It's been a tough road for me there too, but I've become very comfortable with saying what I feel. And then one of my key phrases now is, should I have said what I said to you? Probably not.
Yeah.
I could have not, but I meant what I said. So take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I could have been nicer, but
Yeah.
still meant it.
I like you, Jennifer. I really do.
I like you too.
I really do. I feel the same. I absolutely feel the same. And so whenever I hear and if this is a part of your comeback story, like we can dive in there too. I wonder on that realm of love and of failed, if you see it as being a failed relationship or a relationship that was there to teach you something. I wonder, how do you feel about marriage? Like, I will say on this trip, one of the things that we did talk about was marriage. And there was just there was a couple there was just emphatic that, yeah, marriage is not the goal. Like we have, that's not what we're striving for. Like, no, like God didn't create a man to be monogamous, and a woman should. We just had a whole conversation. It was a deep conversation.
I bet.
I just wonder, after you've been married twice, right? 3 times, and
I
so
got there. Yeah.
how is your perspective on marriage? Like, do you still believe in that true love and a marriage can be sustained? What are your thoughts on that?
I love love. I really do.
Oh,
And
dang it.
I really do.
Me
And
too.
I pray
Yeah.
that marriage is in the cards for me again. I can honestly say
Yeah.
without no diss or disregard to the two gentlemen I was married to, I found myself with 4 children making $11 an hour.
Yeah.
I stayed with my first husband because I needed to stay with my first husband.
Yeah.
He messaged me 5 months pregnant with my second kid. Not second kid, sorry, fourth kid.
Mhm.
Said he'd been cheating and he wasn't coming home, and he didn't. And that's where I think a lot of maybe even before, but that's where a lot of my trauma and issues kind of have started. The second person, essentially not the same, but might as well have been.
Mhm.
So I have every right to have never wanted to get married again, because so far it hasn't worked out real well for
Yeah.
me. I did get married again, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah.
And I never. So you said something a minute ago about, do I call them failed or did I learn from them? I think maybe both are
Oh,
true,
mhm.
because they did fail by definition. But dear God, did I learn so much, especially about myself. This last one almost took me out. It
Yeah.
almost took me out. Got married on March 3rd of this year. 35 days later, he was already cheating.
Wow.
And that's a whole nother story too. It almost took me out, but
Mhm.
I learned so much, and I do believe that I am born to be a wife, and I do believe that God is going to send me the man that I'm supposed to marry.
Yeah.
I need to do a lot better of a job at discernment.
Mhm.
That's probably going to be my word for 2026. Because just like you said earlier, your heart's so big, my heart's so big,
Yeah.
and I just assume that one of my missions here on earth is to love.
Yeah.
And I just haven't been able to do a good job of discerning and creating those boundaries as to how much I love and who I love and how I love them,
Mhm.
and how much of myself I give.
Yeah.
Um, it's not worked out well,
Mhm.
but I don't regret a single bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that you can come out on the other side and still be optimistic and feel that way, because I don't think there's a limit or expiration date on love. Like, I feel that you can find true love at any age. It can come at you at any moment. And so thank you for keeping me hopeful.
I
I,
mean, listen, I
thank
don't
you.
know. I don't know. But we're gonna find out together. And
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna
find
always
out.
be hopeful of nothing
We're gonna
else.
find
It'll be
out.
fine. It'll be fine.
Yes.
We're gonna
We're
figure it
gonna
out.
find out. We'll both have a comeback story with that. It's like,
That's
hey,
right. That's right.
we're
And
here.
until then, we'll just type each other up. I
Yes.
mean, that's all we
Listen.
can do.
Absolutely. I'm here for all of that. I'm here for the task, right? And so through all of this, what do you consider to be your comeback story?
Mm. So I consider my comeback story to be essentially a woman who, I'm not saying I'm there yet. Like
Yeah,
I'm healing. I'm not healed. I acknowledge that. I used to put so much of my own worth into what a man thought of me, into what my partner thought of me,
yeah,
into pleasing, making sure dinner, whatever, this or that, without ever demanding any type of anything in return. I am now very comfortable in saying, I love me.
yeah,
At least I'm working on it. There are days maybe I don't do a good job at loving myself, but I do love me.
yeah,
God loves me. And for the first time ever, that does feel like enough.
yeah,
I don't feel like I'm missing anything that will make me whole. I find friendships or I enter into relationships, whatever that may be. Um, because I do have a boyfriend right now, but the difference with this is I'm not looking for him to complete me.
yeah,
He just adds benefit. I feel whole
yeah,
as myself, and I've never felt that before, which makes my boundaries a lot easier to declare and to hold firm.
yeah.
Whereas before, overlooking infidelity just for the sake of not being left was something I've done more than I care to admit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Speaking to me, I'm going to tell you that in your answer, you will be definitely speaking to me, but also to an audience member who needs to understand what that completeness feels like when you say you are enough, because I show up in the space of feeling that I am enough. Like I feel like I handle this mothering thing to the T. I feel like I have done the things that prove to me that if their father didn't help another day, I could take it. I can
mm,
take it from here. I've done so much. That's just one small minute piece of who I am. And so I show up knowing that I am enough because I show up confidently. But I will
mm,
tell you, when it comes to the wholeness part, um, and the completing part, that's kind of what I struggle with. Because I feel like I am enough to show up how I am, but I'm going to tell you this one thing that I've been on this journey to do is to feel whole and to feel complete without a companion. And
mm,
that's a little tough for me because I know what that feels like. And I know she's gonna come back. And if you hear me, Jennifer, I'm gonna still keep talking. But I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like when you do have that companionship, right? And so I'm like, I try to live every day, and when I feel that, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't need that. And the only thing, and this may be strange, the only thing that comes close to that is when I find the right song. Like the right song, the right lyric can make me feel all the things. And I'm like, yeah, this is what that feels like. That feels like really good. But outside of that, it's like, yeah, I don't really feel it. Like I feel like there's something missing. So how did you per se? Because what worked for you? Honestly, I know it may not work for everyone because to each his
sure.
own. But I want to know your journey. Like, how did you just feel that I don't need anybody to complete me? I'm already complete.
I think I'm probably still on the journey. There are good days and there are bad days.
Yeah.
What I do know is that there have I think I have been treated in such a way,
Yeah.
with such disrespect, that my brain was like, this is what you think you need to
Yeah.
make you happier.
Yeah.
Complete disregard for your feelings, or zero validation for any of the emotions you feel, regardless of what that person's part was in it. I promise you, I will find. You said self reflection earlier,
Yeah.
on the daily, and I will figure out how I could have done something better no matter what. I know there's room for me to improve
Yeah.
every single day for everything. but I start looking, I'm like, this is literally what you're staying up at night for crying about. Is
Yeah.
this someone's dusty ass son
Listen.
who does not care, who does
Right.
not care, has proved over and over again
Yeah.
that they do not care. But
Yeah.
here I am, like a clown, still showing up.
Yeah.
And I think I was stuck in that mindset for a while financially, of making $11 an hour with 4 kids, no child support. It wasn't doable. I'm okay now. I
Yeah.
can at least get through the day.
Yeah.
It's scary the few times, like, speaking up for what was right for myself, seeing how that landed on the other person, um, and then just really dissecting those interactions. Like, and that may not make a lot of sense. The first boundaries I set were the most critical.
Okay.
Um, this is a hard stop for me. This is a hard stop for me. And
Give
anyone
me
that,
some examples.
so, okay. Um, Great example would be, if they were, and I definitely feel like a hypocrite, because, and I know that because technically I'm still married. That's not
Yeah.
my fault. That's his.
That's
But
it.
if it was a person that was in a relationship,
Yeah.
that it was a marriage that was, they were separated and just trying to figure it out. I'm not here to judge that. To each their own, and we
Yeah.
all have a journey, and I'm here for that. But I deserve better
Yeah.
than to be second again, right? Because we all know how that was going to play out,
Yeah.
right? They're always going to go back. And why would I want to do that to another woman
Right.
who I don't know what she's being told? Um, so that's one great example of, like, if you're with someone. Now, another one is if just communication, simple communication. If I say, hey, for us to be together, I really require communication. I like, in the morning, at night, whatever, throughout the day, just basic consideration for me and my feelings. I know someone saying, oh, I'm sorry I didn't talk to you for the last 18 hours. I was
Yeah.
real busy.
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
So I guess the other example would be that other than children, because I understand that, I should be a priority.
Yeah.
And if they're not in a position to make me a priority at this point in their life, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Then we're just in different phases of our journey, and we're just not meant to be aligned right now.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, the other part was letting go of a lot of the anger,
Yeah.
letting go of the anger that this is not about me. If John, which is just a random name, is not ready to commit to me, that doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of being committed to.
Right.
That's because God knows that John's not going to give me what I need right now. And
Yeah.
it's just not the right time. Finding peace in that faith that what is what is for me will be mine, what is not for me will never be.
That's it.
Um,
Yeah.
that it brought so much healing and just a deep rooted understanding that when it's for me, it will be.
Yeah. I love that. I
So,
really do. I love that. And so that's a journey that I put a post up a few days ago, and it stated, actually it was last week, and it just stated that you will be the biggest project that you will ever work
mm,
on in this lifetime. And it's ongoing, but it, I think, will reap the biggest reward, because when you show up as a full person, when you show up in your authentic self, and most importantly, when you show up how God has called you to be, I feel like that's when the blessings start to overflow. Like, that's when you're able to really, really, really hone in on who you are and see the fruits of your labor, to see, like, God, this is what you created me for. Like, I'm showing up as the best version of myself, although it's a continuation of work.
for
Like,
sure.
I'm feeling, at least I should be able to feel that I am on that journey. Like, I'm here now and I have my boundaries. I know who I am. I know what I want to accomplish. And so, to me, that is the dopest comeback there is. It's self-discovery.
Listen, the
Okay.
best, the best, the best, and
Self-discovery.
the most worthy, like, person of receiving it, right? Like, we owe ourselves so much.
Yeah.
You could ask my boyfriend right now, and he's going to tell you there are still days that are challenges. I'm not there yet. Like,
Yeah.
my brain still tells me, like, abandonment's huge for me just
Yeah.
because of what I've been through. My brain still says, "Are you sure?" when he left this morning,
Yeah.
he didn't give you 3 kisses on the cheek, just 2. Are you sure he's not seeing someone? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Maybe he is. Let me just fuck up his day a little bit real quick and start his day off. Let me start his day off real fun and like just figure it out.
Are you sure? Let me tell you something. Are you sure? What was your maiden name? Like, are you sure that we're not related? Because damn.
Listen, not Bennett, not Bennett, but listen, my daddy was a Rolling Stone, so who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. But because I can ruin a person's day, that's for sure. You said something a minute ago about like our own like accountability and what we go through, and I saw this. It was a Snow White picture of the evil witch, and she's looking in the mirror. But the thing says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who has hurt me most of all?" And you're looking at yourself
Yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
And as fun and as comfortable it is to sit here and blame my first ex-husband for cheating, my second ex-husband for being a horrible person, whatever. I could do this all day long. I played a
Mhm.
huge part of that. And
Mhm.
if I am not able to admit that, I'm not gonna grow at all.
Yeah.
Um, and so the last couple years has been committed to just those uncomfortable looking in the mirror, be like, "Bitch, did you really do that?" And I'm like, I did do
I
that.
did do that. Yeah.
And it's like, wait, would you do it again? Probably. So I just gotta work on it. I just gotta keep working.
I'm telling you, I listen. I have had those self-reflective conversations, and
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like you didn't learn the last time. Apparently not, Jennifer. Apparently not. Because here we are. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know. So
Yes, I love it. I love it. And so I dig it. I definitely
I
dig it. I
appreciate
respect
you.
it. I respect it. And it just, when you're committed to that, I feel like success can only come on the other side of that. Once you know what you want, once you set your boundaries, like we keep saying. So I'm just hopeful for your journey. I'm hopeful for mine too. And that
Same.
does give me a sense of security that okay, all along I've been going about it the right way, even though I will, because sometimes people use your transparency as a weakness and they try to like infiltrate
Girl.
that. So any gentleman that's watching this episode and you heard me say that I sort of kind of feel complete and you think that you can come and bullshit me, please don't.
Please
Like,
don't.
because
Don't do
even
that.
though I go through my moments like that, there has not been someone who has been worthy of me um really just letting you like get in, because I see through the BS, and it's just like it shouldn't be that difficult. I was looking at a meme before this, actually this morning, before I knew we were going to do this show, and it said there is no way that I like you and you like me and we're not together. And then at the bottom it says somebody's lying. Like somebody is really like
Someone's
somebody's
lying.
lying. Like
So true.
somebody is a
So
bogus.
true.
Like, and I was like, you know what? Because it really, like Lauren Hill said, it should all be so simple. It's
It
just,
should.
you
It
know,
really should.
you know.
The like the whole if he wanted to he would, and the same thing goes with women. And I
Yeah,
think that's one of my biggest things. I don't burn my bras. I'm
yeah,
not like this. I'm not like uber feminist, right? I think there are some women that do things that are equally as unfortunate
yeah,
to their partners that I've experienced from men. I'm not right because I'm a woman,
yeah,
I mean at all.
yeah,
I'm sometimes I'm not even right, but I am always willing to have that conversation and to dig deep into it. But anyway, I it happened.
it happened.
My brain fried.
I feel you.
You saw it. I knew you saw it.
I felt it
It's all
coming on,
right.
and that's
We're
fine.
gonna pull it together. It's
We're just
okay.
coming up to the point that it just should be simple. Like, and also
Yeah,
that women do things of detriment just like men do things
we
of
do.
detriment. And it's just
We
like we
do.
have to come together and just get it right. Because it's so worth it in the end if we could just both equally get it right. Right.
Absolutely. And I feel like it, just not that we all have to be healed to be in relationships, but there's just so much hurt out there that I
Yeah.
just don't think I don't think there is still enough um, highlight or understanding of mental health and as to why human behavior and why we do the things we do. If we can make that, and I'm not going to solve the world's problems today.
Yeah.
If I could have truly understood the reason like was behind the decisions I was making, I feel like I may have been able to correct course a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
With that being said, I don't know that I'd be who I am today without going through everything. And I'm thankful for everything I've been through. I'm thankful for who I am now. And I'm thankful for the experiences I have.
Yeah.
At the end, I just think we all could do a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Myself for sure included.
Mhm.
Just being kinder to one another and just pausing
Mhm.
before reacting.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah. So was therapy one of your resources?
Absolutely 1000%.
Yeah.
You know, I had somebody, I had someone message me.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you should be in therapy. I'm like, duh, duh. Thanks for telling me. My
Right.
appointment's tomorrow. But it doesn't mean that I go to a therapist and
Yeah.
I'm better the next day.
Yeah.
I have to expect those comments because I do share so much
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
But also like I'm human, right? So just be ready for whatever response I have.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yes, therapy is absolutely one of my resources. And the key to that, I used to be a huge disbeliever in therapy. The
Mhm.
key for me was finding someone that I really connected with and I really I felt like could understand me. I feel like you're going to understand this when I say it. I think it's a large group of us out here that he has sent here for very specific purposes,
Yeah.
and that we have been given a gift of connection,
Yeah.
of understanding other souls, of being able to stand next to someone and say, okay, you're one of us, like you're one of me.
Yeah.
And in Jazz, I absolutely believe that you are one of me. I believe that we're from the same tribe or whatever you want to call it. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
feel it too, by the
I
way.
think that we're just out here and
Yeah.
we're doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
And I think that because of what he has us here to do, I do think that we're just going to go through things a little bit differently and a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Um, Therapy was an obvious resource, but trying to dig into that, the self work, the reflection, the journaling, and my brain goes too fast for writing, so I use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Judge me all you want, I don't
No,
care.
that's brilliant, actually. Yeah.
He talks back to me. He knows how crazy I am. We got a whole thing going on. Um, and he helps ground me a lot. So I think it was then also just accepting that I truly do believe in what my purpose is,
Mm-hmm.
and delving deeper into my faith is probably the only thing that got me here.
Yeah.
And if I didn't really believe that I was here for a reason, all of this was for a purpose, I wouldn't probably be sitting here with you, because I'd have a really hard time understanding why my God
Yeah.
allowed me to go through those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just refuse to sit in that perspective.
I love it. I love it. What's your purpose?
Mm. My purpose is to, so you said earlier about, we get up, we get out of these things, we climb back, we get out of the fire. My purpose is to go back for the ones that are still there.
Mm. Yeah.
That's my purpose.
Yeah.
I was asked one time about, what I do for a living now is out of the ICU. I make a living loving people. And someone said about like time or hours, we don't clock out of our purpose.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
My promise was, when I was able to get myself to safety, because I have to be able to get out of the flames at least to
Right.
stop burning,
Right.
I will always go back to either help people or give them water till they're ready to help themselves.
Mm.
And that is where you'll always find me, is right back at the gates of hell, waiting for the next person ready to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Very selfless and and very aware, cognitively aware, which is it is so amazing. And
I
so
appreciate that.
I think I want to wrap up our this amazing conversation. I don't want to wrap it up at all, just so you know.
You're so clear.
But I want to know, how has podcast land treated you so far?
Oh, it's
Had
been
some
interesting. It's been
had some
interesting.
amazing conversations, young lady.
Yeah, it has been interesting. The first season, a lot of them have been my like personal people that I know that
Yeah,
as soon as they knew that I was stirring, like these are other people that are like minded. They're like, yo, count me in. I want
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Let's change the world. Um, it it looks a little different when you get business involved, and then sometimes
yeah,
people, I almost had to cancel on you, and the disappointment happens.
yeah,
But I've just been digging deeper into my we're all human and giving a little bit more grace. And I've needed a little grace myself. I didn't respond. I felt like maybe a particular episode could have been maybe pushed out a little bit more by the person that was on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can look back now and say that the way that I responded to that or handled that wasn't the most kind.
Yeah.
But I've owned that. And I've explained where my heart was just because I do believe so fully in reaching as many people as we can.
Telling you, listen.
And what?
No,
I figure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
And
feel like people felt like I aired them out. I feel like some people thought I aired their ass out like on something, but I was just being so real because I am so passionate about this, and I was like, how can you say that you're my friend? How can you say that you support me? Da 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 da, like all of the things. When I was like, you never show up when this podcast episode airs. You don't come to the live events. You don't tell people, like, why are you in my space? I was like, it's like, are you what do they call people? Surveillance. I was like, are you just here for
oh,
surveillance? Like, did you show up being surveillance? Because I don't have the receipts of you being. So I went into that, and there was so many people that thought I was talking about them. And I'm like, I'm not talking about you. Like,
but
why do you feel that way? Like, if you feel that way, that's kind of telling me something. Like,
thank you, because maybe I was talking about
let's see,
you
like,
and I just
was
didn't
I
know it.
talking about you?
That I told you that I made that one post about like some friendships being transactional.
Yeah.
There was like 3 different women that got offended. And I
Yeah.
was like, tell me, I didn't tag you, never said a name. So tell me you're a transactional friend without telling me that. And then I post this thing. I was like, hey, if someone tells me they don't like tomatoes, do I get or potatoes, do I get upset?
Yeah.
No, because I'm not a potato.
Right. Right.
So if you say you don't like that friends don't show up for you
Yeah.
and that upsets someone, then maybe they haven't shown up for you. And it's not, it was never said to call them out, but
Right.
also do better
Right.
because I can't imagine. You said the number of episodes you've done, and
Yeah.
your presence is beautiful. Your spirit is so inviting, and it's so light. And as a mother of one young girl, 3 boys, but there's only so much you can do for boys. But as a mother of one young girl,
Yeah.
um, I am just so thankful. And honestly, for my own self, I am thankful for you.
Yeah.
You understood this world we're living in and what we need desperately
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
well before I figured it out. I was still in the flames. And I feel like I'm doing something sometimes a little bit that's not quite understood yet.
Yeah.
Imagine how you felt 4 years ago doing it or however long. That took courage, like that took such courage and such bravery and strength and a commitment to knowing what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And I for one am so thankful for you, like honestly, like trailblazing it and
Yeah.
cutting the weeds down so the rest of us can kind of try to come behind you and figure out what this is that we're doing. um that a lot of that is the work, is getting people to understand the movement and what you're really like, what you're trying to do for everybody. And that tends to be the hardest work.
Yeah.
And I highly doubt Tom Brady had uh 2 million followers on social media when he was first learning how to play.
Yeah.
um People tend to come out whenever you're already successful.
Yeah.
And I am definitely behind the game with your 4-year experience already.
You are
But what I
good.
can promise you is I'm on the train.
Listen,
I'm
I
on
was
the
gonna
train and
say,
I'm not getting off.
you are on your amazing journey. You are on your own trajectory, and it is already destined to succeed because
I
God has
appreciate
you. And that's just it. That is just it. No comparison, no woe is me, no none of that. Like, God will sustain you because he's already ordering your steps. And that's really what I have learned through this whole journey, is that is just it. Because, and I tell people, because Norman is like a numbers guy. Like, he didn't even ask for it, but he gave me all of these stats on my show and all of that. And I'm just looking and I'm just like, yeah, that's interesting. And then it's like, when you doing this show live, which honestly, I just would suggest you just keep doing it the way that you're doing it. Don't do it live. But that takes some
I ain't there yet.
In to do it live. But when you sit and if you sit and you just live in the numbers, there are going to be some uncertainty that comes out. There are going to be some ugly parts that come out. And I think that is honestly the way that the enemy comes in, because you and I don't necessarily sensationalize in this space. We bring purpose in this space. And sometimes that doesn't get the high views unless you are willing to pay for the high guests, right? And so that too shall come. It's going to come when it's supposed to. And so aside from all of that, I can walk out of this space that I'm in right now, and it won't take me more than 20 minutes for somebody to know of my podcast. And I don't even care if they know me, but it's like to know of my podcast and to know what it's about. That is like a hug from God. Mm-hmm. That's like a smile from God.
Amen.
Because I don't need that instant gratification like I think I do when I hear someone, or when somebody DMs me and tells me, oh my God, like this episode that I just saw, Jazz, da 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 da. And my love language is already words of affirmation. So that is just like the icing on the cake. And I'm like, thank you, God, because I know you felt that doubt seeping in and you did that for me. So thank you.
Amen. Absolutely.
So I would just say impact over everything. Just like you said.
I love it.
If it's going back through the fire to get 4, that's your purpose.
Right.
And so once you know what your purpose is, that's going to drive anything else. Not to say that the hard times won't come,
Agreed.
But that's going to be what sustains you. So,
and the truth is,
already there. You're getting
just going back, and then even if I can't pull anyone out, them knowing that I came back for them, that in itself is enough sometimes. And I appreciate you. And I agree. I am on my own journey. I do believe there's room for everybody. There's room for every single one of us. And supporting you and being on your train doesn't take anything away from anyone else I support or myself. And I think that I think women in particular have a hard time understanding that. Mm-hmm. If we could all completely understand that there's room for every single one of us, and if we were to collaborate instead of compete, that we'd probably get a lot further, a lot faster. But until that day happens, which may not be in my lifetime, I'm just going to keep showing up and keep doing what I know to do. And I am so thankful to have been given this time with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. And you being here is another nod and another wink at you that God is like, listen, we got to keep this going. You got another episode to prepare for, my dear.
That's right. That's right. We're not letting a car accident take you out. Let's go. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, sister. There ain't no crying in baseball. We gotta go.
Crying in baseball.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna put baby in the corner.
Come on. Nobody. Come on
up out of there.
Well, that's right. That's right.
All right. So Jennifer, I'm looking for our in-person meetup. I cannot wait to meet you in person
because we'll figure it out.
Love what I see online, and so I know that the in-person Jennifer is going to be just as dynamic. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely. And so everybody, this has been episode 168 of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. I need for you to make sure that you subscribe, and you hit that notifications bell, but you also need to leave a review of this episode in the comment section, okay? And share it out, all right? And just remember that you can come back from anything in this lifetime with God, using the right resources effectively, and your willingness to do the necessary work. And so I will see you back next Monday for episode 169. Make sure you follow Jennifer Eddings. Make sure you subscribe to the Call Light Collective podcast. Jennifer, you want to tell us the handle on your podcast and how they can keep up with you before we leave?
I would love to. So really you can just follow Comfort Measures Media on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the Call Light Collective podcast under there. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the things. Jennifer Eddings, bunch of emojis, all pop up. You can't miss me. You'll find me there.
Absolutely. All right, Jennifer. So everybody go like, share, follow, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And we will see you later.
Bye.